The story begins, and we see Kanglan Star Eastern Domain, Howren City. And the protagonist of this story is sitting in the courtyard and relaxing, and a man is speaking to him. The artifact master said he has made the shared flying sword you requested, young master. The sample will be delivered soon. And his name is Gu Feng, eldest son of the Howren City Lord. And then a man comes to Gu Feng flying on a sword, and he says to Gu Feng, young master, the City Lord has ordered all young cultivators of Howren City above the 8th level of Qi condensation to gather in the council hall immediately. And Gu Feng says, what does that have to do with me? I'm not going. And Gu Feng is thinking, I've been in this world for 19 years. I started cultivating at 3 years old, and now I'm only at the 3rd level of Qi condensation. 8th level? That's a long way off. In my previous life, I worked hard just to save enough money to start a company, get it financed, and go public to get rich overnight. And Gu Feng says, even the 10th ranked member must go. And he is thinking, although no one respects me as the 1st ranked member, since my father specifically mentioned it, I can't skip it, or it would put him in a bad light. The elders and other members of the Gu family always look down on me, mocking me at every chance. I really don't want to attend such events. Then Gu Feng takes out a gold coin, and gives it to that man, and while leaving he is saying, let's go, Jiolong. Whether it's a blessing or a curse, we can't avoid it. And another man says, shall I fly you there? But Gu Feng says, no way. Who rushes to get scolded? Let them wait. On the other side, the council hall of the City Lord's mansion. And a discussion is going on about something in the council hall. And then Gu Feng comes to that place and everyone's eyes are on Gu Feng. And Gu Feng is saying to those people while coming inside, sorry. The journey was long, and my legs are weak. Sorry to keep you waiting, elders. Then we see Gu Feng's father, Gu Liantian, City Lord of Howren. And Gu Feng's father is saying, ahem. Now that everyone is here, let's begin the discussion. 3 days ago, the Immortal Envoy issued a divine order. A war between the Eastern Domain and the Southern Plains is imminent. Starting next month, every city under our jurisdiction must increase their monthly tribute by 50,000 top-grade spirit stones. And all the elders are saying, the spirit stone mines near Luoxia Mountain have drastically reduced production. City Lord, the 236 sects under our control are already struggling. The cultivators of Howren City will surely be disgruntled. And the City Lord says, how could I not know this? But as cultivators of the Eastern Domain, we must be loyal to the divine order. Does anyone have a good plan? And then there is silence at that place, and Gu Feng is thinking, these old guys usually hoard so many natural treasures, and now they all pretend to be poor at a crucial time. My father, as the City Lord, can't demand too much or he'll lose face. It looks like getting money from this group will be hard. And the City Lord says since there is no good plan, this matter will be temporarily set aside. Next, an elder has suggested removing Gu Feng from his rank in the sequence. What are your thoughts? And Gu Feng is thinking, the inevitable has come. And the elder is saying, Gu Feng has been ranked first in the sequence for many years without any achievements. He should give way. This child has been cultivating for nearly 20 years but is still weak, bringing shame upon us. And the City Lord says, although that may be true, Gu Feng has committed no crimes. Forcing him out of the sequence would be unfair. And we see a man, Gu Huai, Gu Feng's second uncle, Gu Liantian's half-brother. And the second uncle is saying, ahem. No crimes? Not necessarily. And the City Lord says, what do you mean by that? So the second uncle says there is a clear decree in Howren City that no one but the City Lord may establish a group of cultivators with military characteristics. Doing so is considered rebellion. However, as I know, Gu Feng recruited 3,000 cultivators under the name of establishing the Artifact Master Guild some time ago, and they are now stationed in the west of the city. Does this count as a crime? And after listening to second uncle, all the people living in the council hall are saying, that's a crime punishable by death. Such a person should have been removed long ago. This useless sequence member quietly caused such a huge problem. And after listening to them, the city lord says, "Do you intend to accuse my son of rebellion?" Then the second uncle says, "Big brother, you're overreacting. Gu Feng is your only son, and I also believe he wouldn't commit such a rebellious act. We just need to shut down the Artifact Master Guild and the Lone Treasury, and disperse those 3,000 cultivators. However, he can no longer retain his position in the sequence." And after listening to the second uncle, the city lord asks Gu Feng if he did all this. Then Gu Feng says, "Father, I have something to say. Second uncle's accusations, I cannot acknowledge. The 3,000 cultivators in the Artifact Master Guild are all deeply engrossed in artifact crafting. Their cultivation levels are so low that they couldn't possibly form an army." And the second uncle says, "Can low cultivation levels justify gathering without permission? You are disregarding the laws of Howren City." And Gu Feng says smilingly, "However, the Lone Treasury and the Artifact Master Guild were established with my father's support. Jiolong oversaw the entire process and can testify," and the man behind says that is indeed the case. And the second uncle looks back, and we see a man, Gu Chun Feng, Gu Feng's third uncle, Gui Kun's grandfather. And the third uncle says, twisting words and forcing logic, "You neglect proper cultivation and indulge in these unorthodox techniques. How can you still claim to be part of the sequence?" And Gu Feng says, "Third uncle, that's unreasonable. We cultivators spend spirit stones on our cultivation and battles. These spirit stones are our lifeline. Commerce is the way to control this lifeline. If you truly disdain worldly affairs, why not donate 50,000 top-grade spirit stones every month to ease my father's ever worries?" But after listening to Gu Feng's words, the second uncle gets angry and says, "What does a brat like you know? 50,000 top-grade spirit stones is an enormous sum. How could I possibly come up with that?" And Gu Feng uses his space ring and he says, "Third uncle, you're not very capable." And light starts coming out of Gu Feng's space ring, seeing which third angle gets very shocking. And the city lord too, and all the people present at that place are left with open mouths when they see so many high-grade spirit stones behind Gu Feng. And Gu Feng is speaking to them, "But I, the young master, can come up with it. As an unfilial son, I can at least relieve my father's worries. This 100,000 top-grade spirit stones can temporarily solve Howren City's concerns." And the city lord becomes very happy after seeing so many high-grade spirit stones, and he is saying, "Haha, good. Truly my bloodline, well done." And Gu Feng says, "Third uncle, speaking of spirit stones, I suddenly remembered a debt. Steward Wu, where are you?" And then a man comes behind Gu Feng, mystic grade treasure, gold abacus. And he says, "Here, young master." On the second day of the third elder Gu Chunfeng's Dao companion, Madame Wang, went to the Lone Treasury, using a wisp of the third elder's soul as collateral, and borrowed 300 top-grade spirit stones, for a loan period of 6 months. On the 9th day of the 4th month, Madame Wang borrowed an additional FEV 100 top-grade spirit stones. On the 2nd day of last month, Madame Wang borrowed another 300 top-grade spirit stones. Young master, including principal and interest, Madame Wang owes a total of 2,100 top-grade spirit stones. And Gu Feng says, "Third uncle, were you aware of Aunt's debt? Third uncle, were you aware of Aunt's debt?" And third uncle says, "That wisp of my soul was supposed to be used for refining a magical treasure. How could it have been used as collateral? You brat, stop slandering me." And Gu Feng says, "If you plan to default on the debt, don't blame me for not sparing your face. Everyone. Here is the evidence Madame Wang left when she used the collateral." And third uncle is getting very angry, and Gu Feng is telling us what third uncle's wife was saying, "Boss Gu, lend me another 500 top-grade spirit stones. The newly released communication treasure, Feishin 6, is too tempting." And seeing this, third uncle's mouth starts bleeding, and he falls on the ground. And Gu Feng is smiling and saying, "Oh dear. Third uncle. Getting so angry isn't good for you. Spitting blood like that will cost you at least 10 years of cultivation, sigh." And then a boy comes in front of Gu Feng, and his name is Gu Kuan, second-ranked member of the Gu family, grandson of Gu Chunfeng. And he is saying, my grandfather, with his 8th level spiritual stage cultivation, was about to break through, and now it's all ruined by you. Gu Feng. As the second-ranked member of the Gu family, I challenge you. As the first-ranked member, do you dare to fight me? And Gu Feng becomes serious after listening to Gu Kun's words, and he says, in terms of seniority, I am your uncle, and you are my nephew. In terms of status, I am a candidate for city lord. Who do you think you are? Uneducated brat, stop barking here and making a fool of yourself. And Gu Kun attacks Gu Feng with a silver flood dragon sword, and he is saying, you chi condensation 3rd level waste, go die. And Gu Feng, seeing the attack coming towards him, is thinking, damn. My mouth got me in trouble. Who is this idiot that starts fighting without warning? Why hasn't father intervened yet? Could it be? But then Jiolong comes in front of Gu Feng, and stops Gu Kun's attack with just 2 fingers, and he is saying, dare to lay a hand on the young master. Are you tired of living? And Gu Kun is very scared because Jiolong has his sword, and his life is bound in it. And Jiolong destroys his sword, due to which blood starts coming out of Gu Kun's mouth. And then the city lord releases his power, and says to him, outrageous. Gu Kun of the family sequence, you dare act recklessly in the council hall against your kin? You are fined half a year's salary and will be confined to the reflection cliff for 1 year. As for the matter of Gu Feng's sequence position, let it never be brought up again. This meeting is adjourned. And Gu Feng says to the city lord, my dear father, I almost wet my pants today. This kind of lawless thug must be severely. And then second uncle says, wait a moment. If I remember correctly, Gu Feng, as the first sequence, only has a chi condensation level 3 cultivation. Our family sequence bears the legacy of Howren City's millennia. The first sequence is always a candidate for city lord. Gu Feng's low cultivation makes him vulnerable to ordinary assassins, making it hard for him to bear such a responsibility. City lord, do you truly intend to hand over Howren City to Gu Feng for personal reasons, despite his low cultivation? Where does this place Howren City's millennia of legacy? And where does this place the ancestors of the Gu family? And listening to second uncle, the city lord is thinking, if I cannot break through to the nascent soul stage within a century, I will ultimately exhaust my lifespan. At that time, the burden of Howren City will fall to Gu Feng, but his cultivation is. And Gu Feng is saying, hey, it's not a big deal, talking so much nonsense, it boils down to despising my low cultivation, right? No problem. If second uncle has the courage, then make a bet with me. And Gu Feng bites his finger with his mouth, and is ready to make a blood contract, and he is saying, give me 1 year. If I break through to the golden core stage, drop the matter of me stepping down. If I fail, I will willingly relinquish my position as the first sequence, leave Howren City, and never return. And second uncle says it's easy to say, talking big comes without responsibility. And after listening to Gu Feng, the crowd is saying, Gu Feng must be crazy, breaking through to the golden core in 1 year. Who does he think he is? For a normal cultivator to advance from chi condensation level 3 to the golden core stage, it takes at least several decades or even centuries. Even those with excellent talent, with family resources, take at least 5 to 6 years. 1 year? This guy has been stuck at chi condensation level 3 for 10 years. And now he dares to talk nonsense, and second uncle holds the blood contract, and Gu Feng is speaking to him. Second uncle, I've written it as a blood oath, do you agree or not? Meaning, Gu Feng is sitting in his courtyard, and there are many beautiful girls around him. And Gu Feng is speaking to one of his servants, young master, you just made a blood oath with second elder, you should focus on your cultivation. And Gu Feng says, what's the rush? It's still too early. Then Gu Feng says to Jiolong, has the person we contacted arrived yet? How's their strength? So Jiolong says they're about 3 to 4 miles away, almost here. As for their strength, their true essence is abundant, and their sword intent is sharp. The rumors are true, and Gu Feng says, in that case, no matter what happens next, don't intervene. I have my own brilliant. And then a person comes to this place with lightning speed, and looking at him it is not clear whether it is a boy or a girl. But it is a girl. And she is saying, "Are you the one who summoned me here?" And her name is Yi Tianchen, and we see Gu Feng, who falls down from his chair because Yi Tianchen has come very fast. And Gu Feng is laughing and saying, "Cough, yes, it's me. I didn't expect Taoist Yi to be so straightforward. I'll get straight to the point then." Yi Tianchen, born in Fengming Village, Shenzhou, Eastern Domain, was fortunate to be accepted into Songjian sect on Fengming Mountain at a young age. At 11, you reached the 9th level of Qi condensation. Because you offended the 3rd young master of Fire Phoenix City, you were schemed against and ambushed. While fleeing, you discover an immortal tomb in Fire Phoenix City's territory and, by chance, obtained the inheritance of the tomb's master. You then severely injured 3 of the younger generation from Fire Phoenix City and killed 5, including that 3rd young master. Murongjingi, the city lord of Fire Phoenix City, was furious and massacred your entire sect. You took a lone risk, wielding your sword to the heavens, defeating Murongjingi with your golden core cultivation, saving your childhood sweetheart, and escaping unscathed. Since then, you disappeared without a trace, and after listening to Gu Feng, Yi Tianchen takes out the sword and puts it on Gu Feng's neck and says, "So, do you want to take me down and present me to Fire Phoenix City?" And Gu Feng, while removing Yi Tianchen's sword from his neck, tells her, "Don't be so tense. Although Fire Phoenix City reported to the Eastern Domain Divine King and issued a kill order for you, I have no ill intentions and don't want to get involved. I summoned you today, Taoist Yi. Do you remember a month ago, you borrowed Jade Purity Immortal due from the loan treasury?" And Yi Tianchen says, "Eh? Why do you have the soul contract from the loan treasury?" And Yi Tianchen is saying, "So, can I get the Jade Purity Immortal due with this? If you trick me, don't blame me for killing you all." And Gu Feng is saying, "Because I am the owner of the loan treasury. If I had known you were a female cultivator, I would have loaned you 50% more. TSK, this photography skill is far inferior to Teacher Chen's. It seems I'll have to personally train you in the future." And Yi Tianchen gets very angry, and she gets ready to attack Gu Feng, and even kill him. And Yi Tianchen attacks Gu Feng, and Gu Feng asks Zhou to save her. And Zhou says, "You said not to intervene, young master. A promise is a promise." And he thinks, it's good for the young master to suffer a bit, so he can understand the importance of cultivation. And Gu Feng says to Yi Tianchen, "Taoist Yi, please show mercy. Let's talk this out. How about I waive your interest?" But Yi Tianchen says, "You scum of the cultivation world, die." And Gu Feng thinks, I'm doomed. Her favorability must be in the negatives now. Looks like I have to use my trump card. And Gu Feng says, "Nightmare of freeloaders, abyss of gamblers, and the ultimate concept of evil in the future world. Come forth, the strongest pay-to-win system." And then as soon as Gu Feng says this, the system comes out, and she is saying, "You haven't summoned me in a long time." And Gu Feng is thinking, if it weren't an emergency, I wouldn't want to see you ever. As a transmigrator, having a system is standard. But I never expected it to be a super rip-off pay-to-win system. Not only does using the system randomly deduct large amounts of my own assets, but the worst part is, if I don't complete the final mission before the progress bar fills up, the system will devour my soul, making me work for her endlessly. Whoever designed this system is a scammer. Why is there a mission to achieve world peace in a transmigrated world? I came here to enjoy life, not to dedicate myself to humanity's ultimate ideal. And the system is saying to Gu Feng, "Master, let's cuddle, just 1,000 spirit stones." And Gu Feng says to the system, "Get away, stay far away from me. My requirement is to max out her favorability towards me." And the system says, "As expected, men are such heartless creatures, only treasures won't abandon me." And Gu Feng says, "No matter what you say, I won't spend an extra penny on you, get to work." And the system says, "Fine, fine. Grinding has no future. Only pay-to-win can make you strong. Favorability. Up." Then the scene shifts to entrance of the lone treasury headquarters. And a lady is speaking, "Immortal masters from the heavenly labor sect, please follow me. This is our 10th treasury, where the most spirit stones are stored, holding 200,000 spirit stones available for loan. With a simple procedure, you can get the spirit stones to renovate your sect. And the master says, I never expected. The Heavenly Works sect could revitalize under my old hands. And both the disciples of the master are speaking, Master. Is it really okay to borrow 200,000 and repay 500,000? Master. Can we really repay a 100-year labor contract? But Master says, shut up. Young people these days have no sense of dedication to the sect. But as soon as they go ahead, they all get very shocked, and they are not able to understand anything. On the other hand, Yi Tianchen holds Gu Feng's hand, and is saying to him, Brother Gu, I misunderstood you. Ah, Brother Yi, don't be so formal between us. Since it was a misunderstanding, I won't trouble you anymore. And Gu Feng is saying, trouble or no trouble, you're welcome to come back for another loan anytime. And Yi Tianchen is saying while leaving, if I save enough for the loan, I'll come find you to get my. And Gu Feng says to Yi Tianchen, don't worry, I'll keep the image safe for you. No one but me will see it. Then Jiolong says to Gu Feng, it's strange, she was so aggressive and murderous just now, why did she change her attitude after the young master looked at her? And Gu Feng says that's because your young master used the power of money. And Gu Feng is thinking, why does my heart hurt all of a sudden? This time I must have lost a lot. As Council Hall. We see a man named Nailan Yuan, captain of the E Battalion, and he is saying, they say the city lord suddenly went into seclusion. Why has the young master summoned the captains of the 3 battalions of the Dragon Guard? And his other companion's name is Lu Jin, captain of the Jia Battalion, and he is saying, although I, Lu, command the most soldiers in the Jia Battalion, I am not a mind reader, how could I know what he's thinking? And then Gu Feng comes to that place, and he is saying, it's my fault for having low cultivation, unable to handle this meeting gift. Apologies for being late, please forgive me. A small token of apology, please accept. And Gu Feng has brought gifts for both of them, and Lu Jin is saying, young city lord, it's inappropriate to accept gifts without merit. And Nailan Yuan says, with the busy military affairs, let's get to the point. And Gu Feng says, let's wait until everyone arrives. Where is Feng Feishue from the Bing Battalion? Steward Wu was worried I wouldn't recognize Feng Feishue, so he gave me a portrait. I wonder what she looks like in person, she seems like a proper lady. Then the scene shifts and we see a girl who is fighting with some people and is saying to them, haha, too weak. Is this all you've got? The warm-up is over, time to meet that wastrel from the Gu family. And this girl's name is Feng Feishue, captain of the Bing Battalion. And Lu Jin is saying, young city lord, I think today's discussion might not go well. Perhaps we should reconvene another day. But then Feng Feishue comes to that place, and Feng Feishue is carrying a very big wooden stick on her shoulder, and she is saying, I've heard that the young city lord summoned us, so I've specially prepared a grand gift. And seeing her, Gu Feng is thinking, why is everyone bringing gifts to this meeting? And Feng Feishue says, Bing Battalion's Feng Feishue, here to wish the young city lord prosperity and fortune. And Feng Feishue throws that big stick in front of Gu Feng and she says, I hope this gift is to your liking? And Gu Feng says, Commander Feng's gift is truly. And Nailan Yuan is thinking, as expected, Gu Liantian foresaw this. This young brat wants to consolidate military power, but he's still too green. And Lu Jin is thinking, the old man guessed that Feng Feishue's tardiness was deliberate to cause trouble. If he can't even handle her, then the military power of the Dragon Guard. And Gu Feng says happily, this is great. It's exactly what I wanted, and everyone gets shocked after hearing Gu Feng's words, and Gu Feng is saying, it's rare for Commander Feng to be so thoughtful and prepare such a wonderful gift. If I don't return the favor with something equally grand, it wouldn't be appropriate. I've prepared a gift meticulously. Since Commanders Lu and Nailan didn't accept theirs, perhaps Commander Feng would be willing to. But Feng Feishue says, stop with the pleasantries. I'm not here for this. I'm here to demand the Bing Battalion's military funds. If you can solve this, I won't trouble you. If you can't, I don't care about the first sequence, or the inheritance rights. And Lu Jin is saying, Xiao, how can you be so rude? The young city lord just donated a huge sum to resolve the city's urgent crisis. Where is there any money left to give you military funds now? And Nailin Yuan says, our young city lord spent all the city's spirit stones just to establish a department for making toys. Where would he find extra money? And Fa Feishua says, for centuries, the East Domain and the Southern barbarians have been at war, draining our resources. As a subordinate city, Halan City has also been dragged into this endless militarism. The soldiers haven't been paid for years, and there's a shortfall of 3,000 top-grade spirit stones this year. And Lu Jin says, but you can't trouble the young city lord for this. If needed, we from the Jia battalion can think of a way to share some. And listening to them, Gu Feng laughs and says, it's just a matter of money, I still have plenty. I prepared spirit stone gifts for all of you, but you refused. And Gu Feng points towards the ground and they are surprised. And Nailin Yuan picks up a bundle lying on the ground and says, haha, young city lord, if you're out of money, just say so. It's not embarrassing. And Lu Jin is saying, Commander Nailin, watch your words. Even a few spirit stones are a kind gesture. And Nailin Yuan says, what kind gesture? These few spirit stones wouldn't even cover a decent meal. And Fan Feishua is saying, young city lord, this kind of nauseating joke, don't make it again. And as soon as Nailin Yuan, Lu Jin and Fan Feishua see the high-grade spirit stone, they get very shocked and they are thinking, and an ultimate-grade spirit stone. Such a priceless treasure. How is this possible? And Gu Feng tells them, I am joking? This is an ultimate-grade spirit stone worth 10,000 top-grade spirit stones. Isn't this enough for military funds? I see Commanders Lu and Nailin are not short of money, so you can take all 3 ultimate-grade spirit stones. And then Fan Feishua bows before Gu Feng and says to him, young city lord, I was rash earlier. Your immense kindness to the soldiers of the Bing battalion, I will never forget this. And Gu Feng says, Halan City is my home, its development relies on everyone. It's a small effort, no need to mention it. Take care, come back often. And Gu Feng is thinking, with the power of money, even the wildest girls are no problem. Lu Jin, Nailin Yuan, you old guys, watch out. Then we see a girl, who has a box in her hand and she is running. And there is a servant behind her and the servant is saying, young master, be careful behind you. An unknown cultivator has intruded. And this girl's name is Li Zongwen, and she is saying, urgent report from the instrument department. But then Li Zongwen loses her balance, and she goes straight and collides with Gu Feng, and this is a boob's attack, but it is very soft. After some time, Gu Feng is sitting inside, and Li Zongwen is in front of him, and Gu Feng is saying, you said your name is Li Zongwen, employee number 9527, and you're a technician at the instrument department? And Li Zongwen is about to say something to Gu Feng, but before that the servant says, I think this young lady is just using her position to try and seduce our young master for a quick rise to the top. Let me tell you, our young master has remained pure for 18 years and still is. And as soon as Gu Feng hears the servant's words, he gets shocked. And Gu Feng shuts the servant's mouth, and says, why are you here? Is it about the treatment or work system of the instrument department? We already provide full insurance, 5-day workweeks, and double holidays. And Li Zongwen says, young master mentioned a talking chicken last time, and I've invented it. And Gu Feng is surprised to hear this, and he says, a chicken? A beautiful chicken? And Li Zongwen has a box in her hand, and she opens it, and she says, young master previously talked about a device called a mobile phone, which can transmit sound over long distances, making communication convenient. I've improved the spell 1,000-mile mystic light mirror and the sound transmission technique to create it with just a low-grade spirit stone. And looking at the chicken, Gu Feng is thinking, no way. I just casually mentioned it, and you actually made a mobile phone? Could my luck be turning around? And Li Zongwen further says, this device called a mobile phone seems harmless, but for ordinary people without magic power, it can truly change their lives. Think about those merchants traveling far, laborers transporting goods, soldiers separated from their families. And Gu Feng holds Li Zongwen's hand and says to her, "Come, let's talk inside." And Gu Feng starts going inside with Li Zongwen. And seeing this, the servant gets very surprised, and he is saying, no wonder the young master wasn't interested in the girls the city lord arranged before. It turns out he likes this type. But then Gu Feng calls the servant, and on hearing Gu Feng's voice the servant says, "Why yes, young master? What is it?" And Gu Feng is saying, "The instrument department still needs a head of the technical department, right? Arrange for Li Zongwen to take the position tomorrow, with a monthly salary of 1,000 top-grade spirit stones." After some time, some noise starts coming from inside the room, like "I can't handle it. Don't, stop. Hey. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't exercise, and sitting for too long makes everything hurt." And Li Zongwen is giving Gu Feng the message, and after the message is over Gu Feng is saying to Li Zongwen, "I didn't expect that besides your exceptional skills in crafting, you're also good at massage." And Li Zongwen says, "People and machinery aren't so different. Once you understand all the joint structures, you can master control. But someone like the young master is rare." And Gu Feng says, "Rare? Why do you say that?" And Li Zongwen says, "If the young master doesn't need anything else, I'll go back to researching the computer you just mentioned." So Gu Feng says, "Interesting. I didn't expect to find such talent in this backward cultivation world. I'm really curious about her past. System, I want to see Li Zongwen's memories." And then System comes out, and she is talking to Gu Feng. "Oh master, lately, you've been summoning me just for women. It's making me quite jealous." And Gu Feng says, "I'm paying you to work, not to talk. Get started already." And System says, "You're the one who said to hurry?" And System, using its power, sends Gu Feng to Li Zongwen's past. And we see some people who are working very hard in farming. And Gu Feng starts falling down from the sky, and Gu Feng is saying, "Damn System, just wait. Don't let me catch you." Eh? This is a lowly version of Li Zongwen? And we see little Li Zongwen, who is very happy, and she is saying, "Father, mother, brother. There are immortals in the village. Our village is saved." And Gu Feng is thinking, did her talent for crafting come from meeting a legendary elder when she was young? Did she get a golden finger? After some time, Gu Feng is listening to the conversation of all the villagers secretly, and one man says, "You bunch of fools. Quiet down." And the villagers are saying, "Immortal Lord, please save our village. It hasn't rained for half a year. Immortal Lord, have mercy on us." And another man says, "Get lost, get lost. The Immortal Master is here to select disciples today. Don't delay the Immortal Master's important matters." And Gu Feng is listening to their conversation carefully, but then Immortal Master notices something, and he is thinking, a destiny with immortality? Then using his power he calls Li Zongwen and says to her, "I am an Immortal Master from the Feng sect. Are you willing to follow me and cultivate? Once you join an immortal sect, you can move mountains and seas, reverse life and death, and achieve immortality." And Li Zongwen says to Immortal Master, "Immortal Grandpa, our family's cow died from overwork last year. Can you help our family plow the land? My parents work so hard just to feed me. Immortal Grandpa, if you're not willing, could you at least turn into a cow for our family? If that's too much, can you at least make it rain for our village?" But Immortal Master gets angry after listening to Chodi Li Zongwen, and he says, "Little girl, how laughable. With such short-sightedness, those eyes are useless." And Immortal Master attacks Li Zongwen's eyes, and he goes away. And Li Zongwen is in a lot of pain. And Gu Feng, seeing all these things, is thinking, is this how her story unfolds? Not long after, Li Zongwen's family was driven out of the village by the chief under the pretext of offending the immortal. Then we see Li Zongwen's house, and her mother is very ill, and she is speaking to Li Zongwen's brother, "You must take care of your sister." And Li Zongwen is crying a lot to make ends meet. Li Zongwen's parents overworked themselves and eventually died from a plague. A few years later, her brother, to whom she depended, was injured and died due to being caught in the crossfire of a battle between immortals. And a lot of stones are falling from the sky towards the ground, and Li Zongwen's brother gets stuck in between them. And then a horse passes over them, and Li Zongwen is crying a lot, and there is a bird near her, which falls on the ground. And then some wooden dolls come to that place, who save Li Zongwen, and old grandpa comes and he is saying, "Heaven and earth are unkind, treating all things as straw dogs. Sages are unkind, treating the people as straw dogs. Little girl, you dropped something." And Gu Feng is telling, thus, Li Zongwen was taken in by an outer disciple of the Yuling sect. With the old man's help, Li Zongwen regained her sight and embarked on the path of cultivation. Although her spiritual roots and cultivation talent were poor, who would have thought she was a genius in artifact crafting? But in a sect that valued cultivation and power above all, low-level cultivators like Li Zongwen and her master, who could only fiddle with junk, were less useful than the lowest-tier spirit hounds. And Grandpa is saying to them, 30 years of East, 30 years of West. You short-sighted people, don't look down on others. But those people are saying, get lost. Take your useless disciple with you. A big loser teaching a little loser. A few days later, and Grandpa is speaking to Li Zongwen, I'm not going to make it. Cough cough. I heard there's a place called the instrument department. After I'm gone, go there. And the scene shifts, and a man is speaking, thank you, fellow cultivators, for coming to support. Today marks the grand opening of the instrument department. We offer excellent treatment, and hope everyone will join us. Then the scene shifts, and Gu Feng is saying, they say that cultivation can defy the heavens and change one's fate. But how many people in their lifetime can't even touch the threshold of cultivation? And the system says, I'm just saying, right now, I can't wait for the master to save this world from suffering. And Gu Feng says, you're right. A true man born between heaven and earth should achieve great feats, change the world. Democracy, science, freedom. I want every person on this land to be born with these rights. All men are born equal, there shouldn't be. And the system is happy and thinking, no way, is the salted fish finally turning over? And outside two people are talking, young Master Gu. Jade Pavilion in the south of the city is opening today. The girls are beautiful and the wine is great. Young Master, we're heading there first, there won't be any seats left if we're late. And Gu Feng very quickly came out of the window and jumped out of the room, and the system was shocked to see this. But she is also happy and smiling. Then we see some people who are distributing pamphlets, and they are saying, in the heavens, there is the white jade capital. In the mortal realm, there is the jade pavilion. Opening day. Western dance girls, special services, half-price drinks. And Gu Feng picks up one of the leaflets, and he is thinking, oh dear, how could I forget such an important event as Jade Pavilion's opening? If I don't see these foreign beauties today, it would be such a regret. And Gu Feng again starts moving forward very fast, and then suddenly a lady comes in front of him and Gu Feng collides with that lady, and both of them fall away. And Gu Feng is thinking, ouch. Where did this girl come from? Her chest is both big and hard, could it be some kind of black technology? And Gu Feng is looking ahead and asking the lady, are you alright? Then we see this lady. Her name is Xiao Lengling, biological mother of Gu Kun, second in line, from the Xia family of the northern desert, known for hating two things, big-chested girls and Gu Feng. And Xiao Lengling is saying, Gu Feng, the young master of the Gu family, today is truly a day for enemies to meet on a narrow path. And Gu Feng says to Xiao Lengling, Lady Xia, Aunt Xia, you're disguised today, who could recognize you? This is clearly a misunderstanding, if there's nothing else, I'll just... But Xiao Lengling and her soldiers are very angry with Gu Feng, and are looking at him with angry eyes. Gu Feng gets very scared after seeing them, but then something happens which shocks Xiao Lengling a lot because her bra falls down, and Gu Feng also gets shocked after seeing the bra. And now Xiao Lengling starts getting even more angry, and she is saying, you caused my son Gu Kun to lose his succession right, and today you patrol purposely to insult me, announced the family elder council decree. The first in line, Gu Feng, has set up a private army with the intent to rebel. Arrest him immediately. And Gu Feng says to them, "Hey, hey, hey! You old hag, don't go too far. The family council is over, stop abusing your power for personal vendetta." And Xiao Lengling says, "Sorry, but I haven't received any notice of the arrest warrant being revoked." And she attacks Gu Feng, and Gu Feng dodges her attack and thinks, "Unlucky, unlucky, unlucky. I should have brought Jiolong with me." And then the system comes out, and she says to Gu Feng, "Master, do you need my help? It only costs 10,000 low-grade spirit stones." But Gu Feng says to the system, "Get lost. I won't give you a penny. Tonight, I am a man destined to spend lavishly at the Jade Pavilion." And Gu Feng gets ready to fight with Xiao Lengling, and he is saying, "Xiao Lengling, if you push me further, we'll all go down together. Let me 60, or I'll tear off the seal on the blazing heaven thunder." And Xiao Lengling is surprised to see Gu Feng's weapon, and she is saying, "The last blazing heaven thunder acquired ended up in the hands of this wastrel. Yin Yang mixed 9 prisons blazing heaven thunder? 10 years ago, the city lord encircled and killed the blazing thunder demon at great cost. No, once the blazing heaven thunder is activated, half of Howren City would be blown away. He wouldn't dare." "Young Master Gu, stop bluffing. Even if you had the nerve, you wouldn't dare use the blazing heaven thunder." And Gu Feng says, "You think I don't dare just because you say so? Let's experience the art of explosion together." And Gu Feng throws blazing heaven thunder towards Xiao Lengling. And seeing blazing heaven thunder coming towards her, Xiao Lengling gets scared, and she is saying, "What the neck? This guy really doesn't value his life?" And everyone is running to save themselves from the blazing heaven thunder attack, and as soon as Xiao Lengling looks back, she is surprised. And she creates a shield around herself, and she is thinking, "I absolutely can't die in a place like this. No matter what kind of protection talisman, activate them all." But as soon as she looks ahead, she is surprised, because Gu Feng has done a fake attack, and taking advantage of this opportunity, Gu Feng starts running away from this place, and Xiao Lengling is saying to her soldiers, "He escaped. Everyone, pursue him. If we don't catch him today, everyone will be severely punished." And Gu Feng is running very fast, and he is saying, "Humph, if you want to mess with young Master Gu, you need to consider the difference in our IQs." And as soon as Gu Feng is going forward, Fan Feishui comes in front of him. And Fan Feishui quickly picks up Gu Feng, and throws him down. And she sits on Gu Feng, and is saying to him, "Who sent you? Why did you attack?" But as soon as Fan Feishui sees Gu Feng, she is surprised, and she becomes quiet. And then Xiao Lengling goes to that place, and she says to Fan Feishui, "Commander Feng, impressive skills. Don't let this brat escape. Today I'll make you wish you were dead." And Xiao Lengling is about to put her foot on Gu Feng, but then Fan Feishui attacks Xiao Lengling's foot and pushes her away, and seeing this Xiao Lengling gets shocked, and she is saying, "Hasn't the dragon army always disliked this wastrel? Why?" But then Fan Feishui slaps Xiao Lengling on her cheek, and says to her, "The family elder council's decree has been revoked. Now young Master Gu is back to being the first in the succession line, representing the face of Howren City. If you insult the young master like this, are you planning a rebellion?" And Xiao Lengling is getting very angry, but she calms herself down, and she is saying, all right, you two little sluts are in cahoots to plot against me. My Xia family will not let this go." But then Gu Feng asks Xiao Lengling to stop, and showing her a token says, "Xiao Lengling, who told you to leave?" After some time we see that Xiao Lengling is bent in front of Gu Feng, and she is barking like a dog, and she is saying to Gu Feng, "Is that enough? City Lord Gu gave you the City Lord's order, but not for you to use it like this." And Gu Feng says, "Oh, now you recognize the City Lord's order? If I had taken it out earlier, would you have even acknowledged it? No, it doesn't sound right. Keep calling, call until I'm satisfied." Then Fan Feishui starts going somewhere taking Gu Feng with her, and she is saying, "All right, enough is enough." And Gu Feng is saying, "Hey, wait a minute, I haven't had enough fun yet." And Fa Feishui says, "I helped you today because you funded the military expenses. But your despicable behavior is truly disgraceful. But Gu Feng stops and says to him, I say, are you overstepping your bounds? I, Gu Feng, am someone who repays kindness and seeks revenge. If you can't stand it, then stop using my money. And Feng Feishui gets a little angry after listening to Gu Feng's words, but Gu Feng holds Feng Feishui's hand and says to her, What about it? Want to grab a drink tonight or not? But Feng Feishui frees her hand and says to Gu Feng, What? What are you doing? And then a crowd starts gathering around them, and they look at Feng Feishui and say, Isn't that Commander Feng? Yeah? And isn't that young Master Gu Feng? Could it be? And after listening to those people, Feng Feishui gets even more angry and says to Gu Feng, Today I'll let you off. I'll settle this with you another day. Despicable scoundrel. Too outrageous. And she starts leaving from this place, and Gu Feng is saying while stretching, seems like she's still a novice, interesting. Among all this fuss, I almost forgot the main event of the evening. Better not be late. Nighttime, Jade Pavilion. Gu Feng is sitting comfortably and enjoying it, and very beautiful girls are around Gu Feng. And Gu Feng is enjoying the dance of those girls. And then Gu Feng says, no wonder Jade Pavilion's service is their top draw. Everyone gets a reward. Then we see a man who is looking at Gu Feng and thinking, where did this nouveau riche come from, so annoying. These two top-tier exotic element stone rings from the western regions, I'm getting tired of them too. Such rare items, as long as you serve me well tonight, I might just reward you with them. But then the girl sitting next to that man runs towards Gu Feng, and Gu Feng is enjoying a lot, and he is saying, Immortal do. One sip rejuvenates for 10 years, tonight I've got plenty. And those girls are getting very happy, and they are all opening their mouths, and seeing so many girls around Gu Feng, that man gets a little sad, and Gu Feng is saying to that man, Friend, want a drink? And that man says, no, it's fine, today I didn't recognize who you are. But then a sword hits Gu Feng's wine bottle, seeing which he gets very shocked. Then he looks back, a man starts flying towards Gu Feng, and that man falls near him. And this is a soldier, and Gu Feng is saying, what's the City Defense Division doing? A newly opened restaurant getting wrecked. This affects the 6,000 business environment of our city, and harms sustainable development. Then Gu Feng sees from above that some soldiers are surrounding two girls, and then that man comes to him, and says to him, What? Young Master Gu, you also know Yi Tianqin? She's quite the recent sensation. And Gu Feng says, Why are you still here? And that man tells, I just love a good spectacle. His bad habit of mine, years can't change it. I heard this Yi Tianqin caused a huge uproar in Fire Phoenix City of Eastern Divine Continent. Just after she escaped, Fire Phoenix City Lord Murongjing reported it to the Eastern Divine King, who issued a celestial execution order on her. This celestial execution order is no small matter. Any cultivator in the Eastern Divine Continent has the duty to hunt Yi Tianqin. The Divine King's celestial order. Not to be defied. Unless you don't want to live in the Eastern Divine Continent anymore. Given the current situation, one could say. And, where did he go? But Gu Feng jumps from above to help those girls, and he is saying, Who dares touch her? Yi Tianqin is mine. And as soon as Gu Feng looks down, there is nothing to put his feet on, he is in the air, and after knowing this, Gu Feng starts falling down while screaming. And he falls in a pot, and we see that many soldiers are still surrounding Yi Tianqin. And the girl behind him is very scared, but Yi Tianqin is saying to her, Don't be afraid, I'm here. And then Nalin Yuan comes to that place, and he is saying, Today really proves that seeing is believing. But with Dragon Guard army surrounding you, you should surrender. But Yi Tianqin is telling Nalin Yuan more to fight than talk, and there are some people at that place, and they are talking, Look. That person is captain of the E-Battalion of the Dragon Guard, Nalin Yuan. It said he mastered the 9 transformations of the mysterious dragon art, wielding the power of the mysterious dragon. His dragon-capturing blade has slain hundreds of thousands of southern barbarian demon cultivators. Seeing him today, his reputation is well deserved, and then we see this man, who is very happy, and he is saying, although Yi Tianqian has extraordinary talent, she might fall in Haoran City today. What a pity. But witnessing this spectacle is worth it. And then the man's eyes go towards the pot, where someone is asking him to help. And we see Nalin Yuan, who has put his sword forward, and a lot of aura is coming out of his body, and he is saying, all right, I am Nalin Yuan, and today, under the divine order of the Eastern Divine King, I will slaughter all of you rebels. And now he directly moves forward to attack Yi Tianqian, and Yi Tianqian is also ready to fight with him, and Nalin Yuan is thinking, such a powerful sword intent. Are you planning to perish with me? Damn it! I need to avoid this for now. And it seems that Yi Tianqian has the advantage right now, and her power is very high. And seeing this, Nalin Yuan is also surprised, and Yi Tianqian attacks Nalin Yuan with her feet, and due to her attack Nalin Yuan falls on the ground far away. And Yi Tianqian comes down, and when the soldiers see Yi Tianqian in front of them, they get very scared, but then a dangerous aura starts spreading at that place. And seeing this thing, Yi Tianqian is also a little surprised, and we see that Nalin Yuan attacks Yi Tianqian again, and Yi Tianqian is able to dodge his attack with great difficulty, and Nalin Yuan is saying, it's been a very long time, since someone could hurt me like this. Today, I must fight you to the death. And Nalin Yuan gets in position to fight with Yi Tianqian, and Yi Tianqian also starts releasing her aura to fight with Nalin Yuan. But then there is an explosion at that place, and we see that someone has thrown his sword between them, and that man is saying, did everyone just ignore what I said? And when Nalin Yuan and Yi Tianqian hear that man's voice, they both get shocked, because the attacker is Gu Feng, who looks very angry, and he is saying, I said stop. Didn't you hear me? And seeing Gu Feng in front of him, Nalin Yuan is thinking, a useless spendthrift like you, why can you control such a large flying sword? Could it be? And Gu Feng says to those girls, sorry I'm late. And seeing Gu Feng, that girl is thinking, I knew my true love would appear in the most heroic way to save me from peril. And the junior sister is smiling seeing Gu Feng, but Gu Feng pushes the junior sister aside and he goes to Yi Tianqian and says to her, Tianqian, rest assured, as long as I'm here, no one in Haoran City will dare harm you. And Yi Tianqian says to Gu Feng, Brother Gu, although we hit it off immediately, you should stay out of this matter. And Gu Feng says stay out of it? I, Gu Feng, must get involved. But when Gu Feng's attention goes towards his sword, he is very shocked, because his sword starts breaking into pieces. And in a short while Gu Feng's sword breaks into pieces. And Gu Feng is saying in panic, ha! Didn't expect such poor quality. Looks like this shared flying sword still needs more research before being mass-produced. But then Nalin Yuan attacks Gu Feng's swords, and destroys them very easily. And Nalin Yuan is saying these childish tricks, young city lord, our Dragon Guard army is hunting down a rebel under the Eastern Divine King's decree. Please do not interfere. And Gu Feng is saying to Nalin Yuan, nah. Nalin Yuan, let me be clear. Yi Tianqian is my person. I'm protecting her today. And Gu Feng is thinking, give me some face, brother. If you hadn't started fighting on the way, I wouldn't have intervened. Damn system, you're going to get me killed. And Gu Feng is remembering the incident of a week ago, and he is saying, a forced mission. This damn system not only extorts money but also wants to kill me? And the system is telling Gu Feng, forced mission assigned. Save the critical figure for saving the world. Yi Tianqian. This is the price you pay for using the system. In the present time Nalin Yuan is saying to Gu Feng, since the young city lord insists on obstructing the Eastern Divine King's order, and the city lord suddenly goes into seclusion, I have no choice but to show no mercy with my blade. And Nalin Yuan attacks Gu Feng again, but his attack goes directly towards Yi Tianqian, and Gu Feng is thinking, I knew this scoundrel would suddenly attack, damn pay-to-win system. Quick. And then someone comes to that place, and uses his power on Nalin Yuan, due to which Nalin Yuan stops. And seeing his aura, Nalin Yuan trembles, and he is saying, who is it? Then we see that Jiulong has come in front of Nalin Yuan, and he is saying, who I am is not important. And Nalin Yuan says to Jiulong, the Eastern Divine King's orders are not something a small city like Howren can defy. And Gu Feng looks at Jiulong and says, Jiulong, beat him up. Make him a pighead. But Jiulong says, I only protect you, don't bother me with anything else. And hearing this, Gu Feng gets angry and he is thinking, a pay-to-win system, a troublemaking companion, and an over-the-top subordinate. Can't there be someone reliable? And junior sister says to Yi Tianchen, senior sister, let's sneak away first. Then Yi Tianchen says to Gu Feng, brother Gu, I can't thank you enough for your great kindness. If there's ever a chance in the future. And Gu Feng says, enough. If you really want to thank me, just leave quickly. And Yi Tianchen starts leaving from here, taking her junior sister with her. And while leaving, the junior sister tells Gu Feng, my name is Yi Lu Su, if fate allows. And seeing both of them leaving, Gu Feng is saying, chlorophyll? What a strange name. Sigh, how will I explain defying the Divine King's order to my father? Such a headache. And when both the sisters are leaving, due to fighting with Nalin Yuan, Yi Tianchen's mouth starts bleeding, and she starts fainting, and now she starts falling down, and Gu Feng also notices this thing, and he is saying, if all else fails, I'll have to pay to win again. Then Gu Feng goes to those two girls, and we see that the junior sister has fainted. And Yi Tianchen is injured, and then someone comes to that place, and he is laughing and saying, Nana, it really didn't take any effort at all. Yi Tianchen, surrender now. And Xiao Lengling is saying, Gu Feng? You spendthrift, what are you doing here? Step aside quickly. And Gu Feng says, what if I don't want to? And the second uncle says, I know you hold the City Lord token, but today, this is not something you should meddle in. And Xiao Lengling is saying, first sequence child Gu Feng, protecting Yi Tianchen, who is under the Divine King's kill order, is a dead end. Today. And second uncle silences Xiao Lengling. And Xiao Lengling gets shocked knowing this, and Gu Feng is saying to second uncle, after all, we are family. Is there really no room for compromise in this matter? And second uncle says, even if your father were here, he wouldn't dare defy the Divine King's order. And Gu Feng says, upon reflection, it is indeed foolish of me, given that, holding the City Lord token, which represents the City Lord's authority, in my hands only to let father's efforts go to waste. Instead. And second uncle gets shocked on hearing Gu Feng's words, and he says, you want to hand the City Lord token to me? Really? But Gu Feng tells him, dream on. And Gu Feng throws a smoke bomb, and quickly runs away from here with junior sister and Yi Tianchen, and seeing this second uncle gets very angry, and he is saying, respect the Divine King's decree, execute the rebel Yi Tianchen. Anyone who obstructs, regardless of their status, will be deemed an accomplice. Nalin Yuan, heed the order. And after listening to second uncle, Nalin Yuan gets ready, and second uncle is about to attack Gu Feng. Then we see Jiulong, who knows all these things. And then Jiulong teleports to that place, and second uncle gets a little surprised to see him in front of him, and Xiao Lengling is saying, this is a divine manifestation technique. You, a mere guard, can't possibly. And the second uncle says to Jiulong, Mr. Long, must you involve yourself in this matter too? Then Jiulong replies to them, if you trouble him, you fight me. I don't care about anything else. And on hearing this, the second uncle gets angry, and he also gets ready to fight with Jiulong, and he creates a very big spiritual body of his, and directly attacks Jiulong. And we see that the fight is going on between them, but still it seems that Jiulong's power is very high, and seeing this Xiao Lengling says to the soldiers, what are you standing there for? Gu Feng is protecting the Eastern rebel. His crime is unforgivable. Don't let Nalin Yuan steal all the credit. Just don't let me catch you. And Gu Feng gets very angry after listening to those people, and he says, all right, you're playing with me, aren't you? And then Gu Feng stops and he says to Yi Tianchen, Sister Yi, it seems we can't escape from Howren City now. Given the situation today, whether I live or die, there are many things I've kept bottled up inside that I must say. And we see the scene from a while ago, when Gu Feng is running away with Yi Tianqin and junior sister, and he says to the system, "Damn system! Come out and save me!" And the system comes out and says to Gu Feng, "Oh my, master, don't be anxious." And Gu Feng says to the system, "How much money will it take to solve this?" "Quickly, I'll pay." So the system says, "Let me check, master, to see how much money you have left." Developing the shared flying sword cost 20,000 spirit stones. The shared magic item project establishment cost 10,000 spirit stones. The third phase expansion of the instrumentation hall cost 18,000 spirit stones. Personal luxuries cost 50,000 spirit stones. Salaries for the chi refiners and employees were 8,000. Innately, master. The funds from the loan treasury haven't transferred yet. Currently, there's no way for me to assist with these spirit stones. Master, you'll have to rely on yourself. And Gu Feng, seeing the danger coming towards him, is ready to accept the system's words, and he is saying, "Although I come from a prominent background, I lack talent, disappointing my father. Since childhood, the bastards in Howren City have harassed and humiliated me for their own gain. I've tolerated it all." And Xiao Lingling starts getting angry after listening to Gu Feng. But Nalin Yuan stops Xiao Lingling, and he is saying, "Let him finish, he's a dead man anyway, and he's still the first sequence." And Gu Feng says, "What divine king's decree is inviolable? Kill all rebels without mercy?" Then Gu Feng starts drinking the wine in front of them. Then he drinks the wine and breaks the wine jar, while saying, "I spit on that. It's all bullshit. All these rules are just high-sounding excuses for you people in power. You enjoy all the offerings of the world, but do you ever consider the suffering of the masses? Do you ever think about the livelihoods of ordinary people and cultivators? You were ordinary people when you were born too." Servant is saying, "Young master. The old servant is here. There's no inherent difference in nobility between cultivators and the masses." Then Yi Tianqin says, "The most hateful thing is that you put on a hypocritical face of compassion. It's truly disgusting." And Nalin Yuan is saying, "The heavenly Tao is unfair, all beings suffer in this world, everyone has their own." And Xiao Lingling says, "Ridiculous. As the son of the city lord, to spout such nonsense, you're really at death's door." But then someone attacks Xiao Lingling, and the one who attacks is Yi Tianqin, and we see that blood starts coming out of Xiao Lingling's mouth, and Yi Tianqin is saying nonsense? But I think he's absolutely right. Take care of my junior sister, get her out of here. Knowing Brother Gu in this life, I have no regrets even in death. And Yi Tianqin is preparing one of her attacks, and she directly attacks Xiao Lingling again, and Yi Tianqin starts attacking the soldiers too. Then she attacks Nalin Yuan, and seeing her attack Nalin Yuan is thinking, with only a 9th stage golden core cultivation, to be able to suppress my 3rd stage nascent soul cultivation, truly a genius of contemporary swordsmanship. And Nalin Yuan gets ready to attack Yi Tianqin, but Yi Tianqin quickly disappears from that place, and seeing this Nalin Yuan gets surprised, and he is saying, "Where did that useless Xiao Lingling go?" And Yi Tianqin is moving forward to attack. Then we see that Xiao Lingling is moving forward to attack the junior sister, and she is saying, "My son, Gu Kuan, will become the first character. Die." And Gu Feng says to Xiao Lingling, "Your son Kuan is bad at singing, dancing, rapping, and basketball. Dream on about him being the first sequence." And on hearing this, Xiao Lingling gets very angry, and she moves forward to attack, but then someone attacks Xiao Lingling, and the attacker is Gu Feng's servant, and the